really weird, I know. My dad is a lucky guy. But now we have two teams. Search quality mouse pan. We work together to make the search results better. I was lately in Egypt a couple of months ago, and the number one question that people ask me is, so what do you do and who are you? So I decided to make the presentations a bit different. So the first one, I have three in a row with a break. So the first one, I'm going to be talking about who's the search quality team, who's the website team, and what do we do. In the second presentation, I'll talk a bit more of what are the mistakes that webmasters do, specifically in Arabic, what are the trends that we see. And the third one is more towards, so what can you do to be better, to socialize your websites, to gain more traffic to it. So I'm going to give people this maybe till 3:05, and then we can restart. For now, I'm going to sing for a couple of minutes to entertain you. I'm kidding. Great. This is going to be much better. Does anyone have Webmaster Tools account? Anyone? Webmaster Tools account? Or do people have domains? Do you guys have your own website? Does anyone have Webmaster Tools, Analytics, some of these things? Good. I'm going to talk you through it in the next few presentations to show you why it's useful to have. It's a free tool from Google as well, so it's just to give you a better understanding of your user. So let me just start in, and let the flow of people come in. So we're going to talk, remember the Saudi Arabia hashtag. I'm going to be using it to send out a couple of updates as well, and the presentation are going to be there. So the agenda for this talk is about search quality team, what are the actions that we do, the manual action that we take, and how you can communicate with us. So for the search quality team. So this is a picture of one of the rooms that we have. It's called a weekly quality launch meeting. So we launch a lot of updates and a lot of tests and experiments. Can you hear me from the back? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's supposed to do stuff from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes. So our team used to be internally called kind of the CIA because no one knew we existed, and we didn't really communicate to people that we do exist, but we're trying to be more open, and that's why I'm here. So we took actually a video of one of these meetings and it's posted on YouTube. I'm going to be posting this under the hashtag later. So this meeting, what happens is every change that we make to Google on the search results that people see, we have this quality meeting. There's much more people that you can see the picture, but they all have to decide that this is good for the users. Not good for us, this is good for the users. And being Google, how we do this is completely analytical and scientific. We run a lot of tests, we do a lot of updates and experiments like the last presentation I was talking about. And then we gather all this information, everyone analyzes them in this room, and then we decide to take action on it. So how many updates do you think we do per year? How many tests and how many experiments at any point of time? So let's start with updates. How many updates do we do to the Google search page? The one that you visit almost every day. Any numbers? No, but like actual changes that every day when you open the search results, you see some of the algorithmic changes in the ranking and these factors.
Couple hundred per year?
200 per year?
600. 300?
300?
It's more than 1,000, man. 3,000.
Less than 100.
Give me the real numbers. So, no, this is per year. So, the big updates that we do per year, let's start from the bottom up. So, the bottom up is every single day, there's over 200 experiments. So, the way we do experiments were the same as the last presentation. So, we take a small percentage of people, usually 1% of Google, and 1% of Google is not really that small. It's a couple of millions of people. And we run experiments on them. So every day, different people, you might be getting a different page and the people on the left. just because we run this experiments and then we see how they work. And we run them globally as well, because we're a global company, so we're not targeting .com.sa, we're targeting .com and everything else as well. And we do over 20,000 tests per year, and only 500 updates get updated every year based on our data. So the video is really interesting because it's talking about one of the major updates that we did recently. So please watch it because you can see how everyone interacts and how they actually fight together and how data in the end is decided. So, all the improvements that we have, we always think of just one thing. It's better experience for the user. Because we have this focus that if you focus on the user itself, all else will follow. I've been talking to a couple of people outside, and this happens all the time when I talk to people. They say, okay, so I have this domain, I want to make money out of it, I put AdSense and everything. What should I put in to make more money? I mean, come on, we're not kids, right? Everyone wants to make money at the end of the day. You don't want a domain because you're a charity. So the problem is, you think about it the other way around. Try to think of what people want, and I can give them the service, and then they're going to like me and visit my page every day, and they might click on the ads or whatever and make some money out of it. So think about it the other way around. How can I serve them better so they can come in? If you try to shove money into people's faces, so let's say I give you this, it's a horrible drink, not this company, let's imagine, and I say, take this one and I'll give you $1. You're going to drink it once and never bother again, right? But if I create something that's beautiful for you to use every day, you're going to keep paying for it all the time. So that's kind of the idea that we have is if you follow what users want, they're going to come back. So this is where my team comes in. So what my team does, first, does anybody know who this person is? Anyone? For a month?
Matt?
Yes. I owe you a month today, what happens? So I'll remember you. So this is Matt Cutts. He's the website head, and he's a software engineer at Google. One of the really, really oldest software engineers. I think he's employee number 11. So we work a lot with Matt and his team. So the difference between us and Matt is the website team, they're the engineers that run these experiments, and they're the one that actually change the algorithm of Google. So they decide the core Google search results. And our team, what we do is we do a lot of analysis, and we're very local based as well, so different languages. And we bring back trends that we're seeing in our markets, things that we think should be changed, and they push it globally. So the things that we do as a team, we do some algorithmic adjustments because, I mean, obviously there's no one sitting when you do a search on Google and saying, okay, I'll give you this result, this one, this one. It's all done by computers, of course. But in certain occasions, there's some manual actions that we do, and this is based, of course, on analysis and the communication that we have. So who has a domain here? Who had the, okay, so you have domains. The Webmaster Tools were a couple of you guys. Have you ever seen the messages on Webmaster Tools I have? Did you ever get messages? Oh, okay, never mind. I'll skip this one for now. I'll show you the messages. The other one is, do you track how many users check your domains, people that have domains? Do you see a fluctuation of, like there's 1,000 people, 100, whatever? Did you ever see a drop in your domain where people are not coming back as usual? Exactly. So sometimes this is because people just don't log in, but other times it's either there was an adjustment made or a manual action taken on your account. And this is why it's important to have a Webmaster Tools account, because this is how we can communicate back to things. I'll show you how it works. So, have you heard of the Panda algorithm update? So this is a video of Panda, but this is not us, obviously. So the goal of Panda that we've done, this is a global effort. We've been getting a lot of feedback from people that you search on Google, you get results, they're kind of relevant, but they're not useful. They're kind of, these results are super generic. I don't know, let's give an example of, I like football, so I like Nadi Ahli in Egypt. So you search for Nadi Ahli, and it gives you Ahli, فريق كروي, بيلعب كورة كويس, كسب بطولات. فريق كورة كويس, it's just completely useless for a user to get information of the club. But they rank highly, still. So Panda was a global push for us to be able to rank the actual content of the page, not just the backlinks or the PR or these things. So we actually read through the pages and try to understand if this is useful for people or not. If a human sees that, would he actually get value out of it? Or is it just another page that he's going to click and then he doesn't like it? So, exactly, I'm glad you asked that. So, the criteria for it is there's over 200 different things that we look into. And there's a really good blog post. I'm going to send it. This is by Ahmed Singal. He's the guy from Search. So the criteria, I understand it's a bit vague sometimes, but you have to decide as a human. If you read this page, is it useful for you? If you wanted to search for, let's say, the football team that I'm talking about, when you open this page, is this what you wanted to see? You have expectations when you use Google search, right? Nobody expects to search on something on Google, press the first results, and for it to be completely useless. You expect it to be what you want. And we value our users because it's very easy. If you don't like our results, then you're going to go somewhere else. So the way to look at it is decide, is this useful as a human when I read it? Is this written properly? Does it have a lot of mistakes? Is it auto-translated from like an English one? I see a lot of these. They take very good articles in English and they just translate it to Arabic using whatever tool they have, and it's kind of broken. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of broken and sometimes it's just embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for us to be showing this as a result. The other things that you can consider as well, we play this game to try to consider the thing is, open a website, look at it, and then say, what if they're selling something online? Would I trust this website to buy something from it? This is usually a very good judgment of, is this page a good one or a bad one? If you trust it enough, if you have the feeling that, no, this is a good company, I'm going to buy it, then this is not a low quality page. But if you say, no, this looks a bit dodgy, I'm not really sure, then this is a good signal that, okay, this is not the best content that we want to serve. So, some of you that are tracking their domains might have seen something like this around April or August when we push Panda. So, this is the rate of like how many visitors you're getting. And then at this point here, we push Panda globally. We pushed it in English first. We've done so many experiments on it. And then decided, okay, this is perfect. We're going to launch it for all the languages. We launched this in August. And a lot of sites got kind of what they call in the internet hit by Panda. So what happens is it's not a penalty, sort of. It's just a way for us to say, okay, this is not the best results we want to show. Let's take a look at another page. Maybe this one is better. So the way this is done is completely automatic, right? So does everybody understand how Google search works? So let someone raise their hand. No one understand how Google search works? Okay. Can you?
First, use spiders
Exactly.
to get the information about websites and use backlinks between the sites. Use the having the site have add such a Google link to my site. So my site will be Gota. And of course the standard I like use many times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a perfect answer there. So thank you very much. It's the way Google works is we crawl a website, we send something called spiders around naked, and they find websites that are new online. We index them, we start giving them their rankings, and we start looking at their backlinks. We start, from these backlinks, we see where they link to, so we find new pages and everything. And then we decide to show them to relevant searches, of course. So Panda is the same idea. We run this on the websites, we decide an extra layer of, is this content actually useful or not? Is this what humans want to see? And then, let's say your website had kind of low quality content, so you're not being shown at the top, you got a little bit of drop.
Is it only about the quality of the content or number of visitors?
No, it's about the quality of the content itself. The quality of content might affect the number of visitors because if you're not shown.
Yeah, but when you are building a new website, you are just a new brand that you want to.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is the thing. So an important thing to see about Panda as well, it's not per page. It decides the entire domain. So is the entire domain low quality? Because I mean, let's say you have one page or something like that. It doesn't really mean that you're a bad domain. So we look more at the domain. But to answer your question about you're a small company trying to be big. So if you're creating,
Trying to get traffic from one.
so if you're creating good content, Panda is not going to affect you because it just affects good content. It doesn't look at how many visitors you have. It's regardless. If you have a very nicely, let's say you have people that have blogs, right? So I have a blog. I understand a lot, let's say, about football. So I watch a game and write an excellent article about the last football game I watched. So that's a very good content. It's an organic content made by someone that actually understands. It's going to be super useful for people that want to read this. Even if I have one page on my domain, this is a good page. And that does not look at quantity. So we look at quality more than quantity itself, and more of how many users. To be first ranked on Google, this is, of course, there's more things. So if I have a blog and one page on my blog and my mom is the only person reading it, I'm not going to be the first one in Google, obviously. So you need to promote a bit your content, and I'm going to actually be talking about this not the next presentation, the one after, to give you some tips of how you can actually push forward to get more people to look at your website legally and not doing it by doing some bad things that we're going to discuss. So to come back to Panda, so what happens is, let's say over here, you got a bit of a downside, and you realize, okay, let me check my website again. You realize you had a couple of low quality pages. So this could be pages that you create. This could be pages, let's say if you have a forum or something like that, and you let people create stuff on your domain. If they're creating bad things, you're going to get hit by it. It's your reputation in the end. So you decide to clear it, you work around it, you do all the analysis. I'm going to show you a couple of tips as well to how to do the analysis. You do it, and then you fix everything. What happens is, because this is an automatic thing, it's not a manual one. So when we do the recording again, so when we send the files again to look at the content and refresh it, we decide, oh, this is actually a very good content. So you're back again at being a good content website. So this is a cycle. So you can't really fool us by doing bad things and then good and then bad and then good. It doesn't work like that. It's going to keep updating. We see this a lot. Another really important thing to have, I don't know how to say this in English because I've never encountered this in an English-speaking country, only in Arabic one, is masik kelma. Have you heard this term before? Masik kelma. I hear this a lot of someone saying, I used to rank for Hilal football, and then his site got, he got Panda, or he got a manual action on his website, and then he fixed it. When he comes back, he says, yeah, now when I search for Hilal football, I'm not number one anymore. So this graph is a bit misleading because it shows you to go back up, but this just shows you that it's going back up as number of visitors coming to your domain because you got better ranking. It does not mean that when you fix your problem, you're going to be exactly where you were, because we evaluate everything else as well. Sure.
You mean you start going to sandbox in this tab?
It's not really sandbox. So Panda is not really a penalty. Sandbox, I know what you mean. Sandbox is more of the manual penalties that we have that I'm going to discuss a bit more. This is more algorithmic. So this is done automatically. This is not taking you out of Google search. It's just giving priority to other people that have higher content than you. But this is not a penalty at all. So I'm going to show you if you get kind of a manual action on you or sandbox. Sure.
Are you using any type of procedures or standards that would evaluate the content?
What do you mean as standards?
How do you evaluate the quality of the content?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to post with the G-Saudi. I'm going to put it on one of the slides as well. There's an awesome blog by Amit Singhal. He's like the search guru. He's one of the smartest people in the world, actually. He wrote a really, really extensive blog post. What are the signals that we look at? How can you look at it? And how can you look at your own pages and decide, okay, maybe this is a low quality thing. So remember to follow me or check the hashtag. I'm going to post it as soon as we're done. So, and you can come back to me and ask me if there's something that you don't really understand. Cool. So another really big update that we've done a couple of weeks ago, I guess. I don't know, time flies. So it's page layout algorithm. This, in my personal opinion, is going to affect the Arabic market. So what we do is we reduce ranking of websites that have little content above the fold. What that means, the fold is when you open a page and the first thing that you see on a page. So this, I see this a lot, and I'm sure you guys see it a lot. People just stuff everything. All the ads that they have 500 million ads, and some of them are these GIF files that just keep popping up and gives you a headache. They put it on top, that you actually open the search page and then you have to scroll down for an hour.
I hope Google will destroy it.
It's horrible. You have to scroll down to get an answer. So you want to see, let's say, al-Fajr tomorrow. You just want to see what time it is. And then you open the link, you scroll for like half an hour, and then find in the middle of 500 different ads, it's 6 a.m.
And it's an uploading file,
It's-
uploading website, and you find like 10 downloads.
It's horrible. Yeah, the download button. It's, please download the new song and then download. It's a Russian roulette thing. You don't know where to press. So this, to me, I love this update because I was asking for it for a while. So what this does, again, the goal is that we want people to get answers as soon as possible. We want people to like the pages that they open. So a page like this, the our one, we don't want them to just open it once and then never look at it again. We want you to get users to be your followers, man. That people open your website, they will say, oh, this is a really nice article, I'm going to keep reading it. They read the blog, it's really nice, and then what happens? I have a really nice blog, I go to him and say, listen, I've been reading this blog, it's awesome, it's what we were discussing last week, you should look at it. He looks at it, sends it to a couple of his friends, says, oh, this is a great blog, you guys should follow this. This is how you gain users' trust. This is how you get them to open every day, they check your thing. Kind of like Facebook. So people open Facebook every day because it's relevant to them, because it's good. They don't open it because there's ads on the side. Facebook makes a lot of money because people love the brand. They open it all the time, and then sometimes they click on the ads and they make money on it. So if you follow the user on the user one, then you'll get money out of it. So this page layout is done to this. So this launched on the 19th of January, a bit later for Arabic market, end of the month. So far we've seen it just target just 1% of the queries that we see. I'll give you a quick example of how this looks like. So this is one of the pages that would fit Panda and would fit page layout. So imagine you open a page that you're trying to search for Panda algorithm for Google. This is what you see. I don't know if you guys can read it. So it's Panda خوارزمية تعمل تحسين نوعية نتائج البحث، تحسين نتائج المستخدمين، الحصول على نتائج عليها. It's just redundant and useless. And then here, Panda موقعنا الأصلي الصيني. What are you talking about? ويوجد أكثر من نوع Panda واحد ولكن بس it doesn't make any sense at all. Imagine if you search on Google for this, and this is the first page you find. You will never open Google again, and you will never open this page again, obviously. So this is a usual suspect for both, for Panda and for page layout. Like, look how many ads are around it. This is horrible. So this, again, this does not affect every single page. We want you to make money, obviously, and we want you to create good content. Yeah. So I'll go more to the ranking argument, how we do site evaluation and the ranking arguments that we do. So we take some things called manual action. So before, we never really said we did this, but I'm going to share with you guys that we do. It's not a secret anymore. So what we do here is we take manual actions on domains that, not in every domain obviously, because we want to do everything algorithmically. It's not scalable for me to go to every page ever created and then check it personally. So we do everything algorithmically, we do some stuff manually, and then with the manual actions that we do a lot of analysis to try to make this into an automatic action. But sometimes the system is kind of hard and we don't want to give a manual action. We don't want to give an action on someone when we're not 100% sure that this is not going to affect someone doing good work, because we want to promote good work, obviously. So we take manual action on a couple of violations that are tricky for the system to understand. And we take manual action for when someone sends spam reports. Who heard of a spam report? So can you explain what a spam report is?
Spam reports are usually ads and throws of fake that used to be sent to your account, such as emails, etc. Or pop-up messages that comes from websites.
It's kind of close enough. We have someone else.
Using RSS to bring data from other site, just copy paste.
It's not sure. So
In Twitter, there is a spam report for there are a certain number of users that do spam reports for a certain user. The Twitter will close his account.
Exactly. That's exactly how this works. So, did everyone hear this? I'm just going to repeat it a bit of how Google does it. It's the same idea as Twitter. So, let's say you're searching online, you get a page that is completely spam to you. It doesn't make any sense, it's hacked, or it's just really gibberish or spammed in different ways. You can file a spam report. And what this does is it sends a page with your comments on it saying, listen, I was searching for this, and this is the page I got, and this is spam because look at the comments, they're all spammed, or the page itself is completely spammed, they're setting weird things in the middle, it doesn't make sense, or it's hacked by, I don't know, Russian or Turkish hackers or whatever. So this takes a manual action. So when you send this report, it comes straight to me or to our team, and one of us actually sits and looks at the website and decides, okay, yeah, this person was right, this is actually spam, this is breaking our quality guidelines, or, yeah, you know, maybe he just made a mistake, or it's not really spam. So these we take manual actions because we got them from someone. The other thing that we do manual actions for are reconciliation requests. I'm going to talk about what reconciliation requests are. But it's very important to understand spam. So spam is a very broad term, but it could be anything. But how we determine spam is by violating our quality guidelines. So did anyone read the quality guidelines before?
No.
Exactly. No, this is great. I can go back to my team and say, okay, so I talked to a couple of people and I told them there's something called quality guidelines. But hopefully you guys would read it and not just say, oh yeah, I heard about it before, this guy talked about it. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things in the next couple of presentations. So the next one is actually this, where I'm going to discuss the most common violations that we see. Violations to our quality guidelines, obviously, especially in the Arab market. So this is more specific to the Arab market. There's more quality guidelines, obviously, for everything else. But I'm going to talk about the quality guidelines for now. So the manual actions that we take for when someone is in violation of the quality guidelines is kind of what you were saying with sandboxing. What this means is, I look, let's say I'm one of the people, I look at the domain and I say, okay, this is a spam domain. I'm going to take a manual action on it. There's different varieties of manual actions depending on what the violation is. What happens is, we give it kind of sandboxing or a timeout, kind of, if you're at school. And so it's time related, so this website, there's different things. It could be kind of demoted. So I don't know if you guys heard about Google Chrome. There was a problem with Google Chrome marketing that we didn't know about, and when we found out, it was actually in violation to our quality guidelines, and we demoted Google Chrome. So we actually demoted ourselves on Google search. So if you search for it, we're not like ranked highly as we used to before, because we took a manual action on that. And this manual action has a specific amount of time. Let's say a couple of days or a couple of months or whatever, for whatever kind of violation that you did and how harsh it is. What you can do, because this is not automatic, so remember the last one I was saying, if you fix everything, if you make it much better, it's going to come up automatically, because the system is going to relook at it and decide, okay, this is good, we're going to put it back. With this one, it's a bit different, because it's a manual action, so the system looks at it and still says, okay, an analyst sat there and decided this, so I'm going to trust the human over my system. So what you can do is you can file for a reconciliation request. There's a URL for it, I'm going to show you it, but what the reconciliation request basically says is, okay, I know I did something bad. I've removed like the duplication pages I had, or I removed the doorway pages that I've created, and now it's fine. Here are the examples of the things that I used to do, and I promise I'm not going to do them again. And look at the quality. Now we get really, really funny ones. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of funny ones. But, yeah. So they say, I'm not going to do this, and it's really important when you write the when you write the reconciliation request, is to show us that you actually done an effort. Exactly. So you want to say, these are the pages that I believe were not good quality, and I've removed them, or I've added a bit more organic things, or made it more useful to people. And I've read all the quality guidelines, or checked over my website just to make sure that I don't have anything else, and it's fine now. So again, this is a manual action because it comes back to us. One of us looks at it and says, yeah, he's right, he's done this, we check the entire website again, it's fine, and then it's revoked. So there's no longer a manual penalty, it's almost instant. The next day or in the next couple of days, the website gets back as it, not exactly as it used to, because obviously this is not how it works, but it doesn't have this manual action anymore. It's reevaluated as if it was a new website. So this is how we do manual actions. This is how we enforce kind of the quality guidelines for Google. So every user that searches the internet or searches Google specifically is sure that he's going to get good content, good results, and things that are relevant to him. Because everyone that goes online wants to share, wants to find something relevant, and wants to just engage with the community online. So the other way that we do communication. So when I speak about communication, it's not events like this at Google coming to events or talking to people, whatever. I talk specifically about this presentation and other things like this. So we want to talk to webmasters, people that have domains, people that have businesses online, and are affected by our manual actions or are affected by the algorithm, or they just need more information about how to optimize their website and do a couple of SEO things. So how we do communication is one of the things that we have is the videos, the MyCut videos. So it's not only MyCuts, this is just a snapshot of all of them. We made this picture as a joke because we wanted to see if he wears the same t-shirt twice. Apparently he has over 100 t-shirts. They're all polo shirts as well, so he must have, his closet is huge. But anyways, so we have MyCuts, we have different people doing videos, and they explain to you what are the most common things that people ask. He has a Twitter account that people ask him on, and he makes a video to explain things that people ask. And we explain as well how to use Webmaster Tools account, we explain the latest trends that we see, and what you should do to get a better result. We also have an inside search. Has anyone opened this blog before? You're doing everything. I need to give you one. So the inside search. Yeah, I know. So, maybe months with something in not empty months. The inside search blog is very useful. I took a snapshot of a very useful thing that we do almost monthly. So this is search quality highlights, the 40 changes that we did. Remember when I was talking before that we have almost 200 changes or 500 changes per year? These are examples of the changes that we do. These are actually very, very detailed to the extent that we actually tell you what was the internal name that we used for this experiment before we launched it. So this is as if you were kind of part of the team. You actually know what we were thinking, how we did it, what the experiment was, and you even know the code name. So you can really freak a Googler out by saying, oh yeah, I heard you guys were working on Fuzu, and it's like, how did you know that? Because they didn't know that it was there. So it's very cool. It tells you everything, all the details about every change that we have. It's very important for you to always look at it because a lot of these changes are super useful to you. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how this is very cool. So again, this is the Webmaster Tools account. If you guys have not seen this before, this is where you register your domain with Webmaster Tools. It's completely free. It gives you a lot of information on how to understand how Google is seeing your website. So if you know analytics, anyone use analytics? So analytics shows you more about how the user works with your website. This shows you more about how your website works with Google. So it gives you how much pages are being crawled, how do you do the raw TXT file, the sitemaps, everything. So if there's any problem with your domain, or you think it should be ranking higher, maybe it's not ranking as high as you think, you don't like the results before, you should look at this. It gives you very detailed information. We have as well this part over here. I tried to draw a really bad flashing thing. So we have this. This is the مشرف المواقع, which is the webmaster. So this is مركز المساعدة. This has all the messages and details of any question that you have related to Webmaster Tools. So should I create, I don't know, how many meta text should I put in? is duplicate websites okay? How do I create like local content that I want to target Saudi Arabia only, or I want to target a specific area, or I don't want to have my websites on Google.com. You want to sell something, so you want to target just Saudi Arabia because you're not going to ship to Sudan or whatever. So it gives you a very, very rich information of complete steps on how to do anything that you want. It's just a search bar. You search for whatever thing and you find it. There's the Irshadat Mushrif al-Muwaqa, which is the quality guidelines that you really, really should know. So you'll understand better how to make your website work better. This is kind of our idea of free SEO advice. You don't have to, I mean, it's good to have an SEO consultant or whatever because he can help you out or if you don't have time. But if you do have the time, it's super awesome for you to have this because it's completely free, completely open. And we have a huge community around it. So we have a forum. There's a huge community of people that are brilliant, of people that log in all the time. They have incredible experience. It's just amazing to see them work. And you have Googlers and you have other people just contributing. So you go in and you say, oh, I don't know, my website was very good lately, but suddenly I just had a drop of 10,000 people. I don't know why. And you just give your website, people go in, Googlers go in, people help you out and say, yeah, listen, we've done this analysis, you should change this and this and this, or there's a problem with this, or an issue with that, and they really help you out. It's really, really cool. So please, if you ever have any questions, just go there and someone is going to help you. We have as well the Google Arabic blog. This is more related to all our products, so this is not just for webmaster tools. This is related to different things, so you get information about the Google Plus, for AdSense, for AdWords, for everything is over here. We have as well the Google Arabia Plus page that we just launched, so you can just follow it on Google Plus as well. By the way, go ahead, Google Plus. Add me. So, coming back to what I mentioned earlier about webmaster tools and why it's powerful, the messaging. This is the only way that we can tell you something is happening. Because let's say you have crawling errors, or you have your sitemaps weren't uploaded correctly, or you have a manual action taken on your website. How can I tell you? I have no way of telling you. But if you sign up for webmaster tools, you're going to get the messages from us. So this is just an example of one of the messages that you are in violation with the guidelines, or this person is in violation with the guidelines. And what happens is, we send them a message saying, okay, we've discovered that some of your pages are violating our guidelines, blah, blah, blah. Here, look at this page here. This is from our support page, what I showed earlier. And it says, okay, just read this article here, and it would help you understand what violation have you done and how to fix it. And if you need more information, you can always go back to the forum and say, I got this message, I looked at my website, I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do, and people will help you out. And then, obviously, after you enforce these changes, and you think that it's perfect, now it's completely in the quality guidelines, you come here, it's طلب إعادة النظر, and you send a reconciliation request, which comes back to us, and one of us looks at it and puts it back. Obviously, because of the huge amount of web page that we have, it's not an instant. So I get a lot of message of someone sending a reconciliation request. 2 minutes after, it's like, my site is not back on. It takes a bit of time for us to do an analysis, obviously. So please be patient. We're always experimenting with messages to try to inform you better of what's going on and what the process is. But I mean, there's always innovation and change that we can do to make this service better. So if you see here, this is when we were CIA. Still a bit CIA, a bit more, but then you can see the huge difference that happened in the last few years, where we started communicating. We never used to attend these conferences. We're now attending a lot of conferences. I think half my team is traveling now. And we're more open on the forum, we're giving you more advice, we're giving you more tools to be open and understand exactly what's going on. So in the last 2 months alone, we sent over 700,000 messages. Do you know how big this is? If you print this on paper, it's going to take the entire room. And this is just in 2 months. So you really have a super powerful communication tool that we can talk to you from it and tell you changes, we can inform you of new things. So we're always experimenting with new messages to make it much easier for you to understand. and make you be able to create compelling content that people would want to have your page. People want to bookmark it. A super important thing that I can't remember exactly the percentage, but it was a really big percentage of people. They don't do this. So this is message forwarding. So when we send a message, we send it to Webmaster Tools. Obviously, Webmaster Tools is not Facebook. It's not really cool for you to check it every day. So a lot of people never check it, and they kind of forget or check it every couple of months. And what happens is something like our friend here, he has 50 messages that he didn't read, which is horrible, of course, because he's sitting there looking at his analytics. So people are not looking at my website anymore. He's fighting with the marketing team. He's fighting with the sales team. His boss is killing him because he's losing money, and all because he never checked the message that tells him exactly what's going on with your domain. So enabling this is fairly easy. You create a Webmaster Tools account, you go to Tawdila, and then you have add a Tawdila itself. And what this does is that you just give it an email, and it just forwards every email that the Webmaster Tool does. So you're just sitting doing your own work, and you get the email from us says, yeah, listen, you should check this and this and this, because it's in violation. You fix it, you send us your consideration, and boom, you're back. No need to fight with anyone. So the reporting issues are the way of communication that I was talking about, are like the site violations. So please read the good quality guidelines. We have a surprise that I'm only going to say at the end of the second one. I'm really excited to share this. It's still confidential, and I'm saying this on camera, so my team is going to kill me. It's still kind of confidential. I'm not really supposed to say it, but I'm too excited, so I'm going to say it anyways. And I don't care. And then you can always file a spam report. And this is obviously how you write a useful spam report, so you don't say, I hate this site. You just say, this site, blah, 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 it's spamming the forum, such as this, and this, white automation comment, and he's linking to this URL and this URL. So please don't say, like, I just hate it. It's not easy. So in conclusion, I've talked a lot about updates. You're not supposed to freak out and look at every update and decide, oh my God, what am I going to do? No, these updates are good for the users. And what you're doing, hopefully, is that you're thinking about the user. When you write an article, you want it to be useful to them. When you're creating a blog, you want it to be useful to them. The forum, you want people to communicate. You're not just about the money. Obviously, everyone wants to make money, but the way to make it is to create a brand. And this is what you should be focusing on. So focus on the user, and everything else will follow. Imagine Google. So Google search, we give you the search results, and then the ads on the side or on the top. I don't know how many people know this, but if you're searching for a specific term, obviously the ads are related to what you're searching for. If you're searching for something and we couldn't find an ad that would be useful to you, we will not show any ads. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that we make no money? And obviously, if you don't click the ad, we don't make any money either. But this is the whole point. Imagine if we had Google do it different. So you do a search results, you find the pages, and it says, no, you have to click on an ad first before you open anything. No one would ever use the service. We would not be where we are now. Google has been for less than 15 years. Look how big it is. I remember in Egypt, they were talking that the income of Google is actually more or half of the income of Egypt. Yes, it was half. So imagine a company is making half the amount of money that an entire country is making. So two Google, so Google and Facebook pretty much make more money than 80 million people. And we're just 20,000 employees. Just 10 years. Egypt has been there for 7,000 years. And we're not making that amount of money. I'm going to show you just a quick search that I did yesterday. Please don't laugh at my search. So, so yesterday, I am always hungry. So I've heard of El Capsa, right? How many people like El Capsa? Where's a good place to eat El Capsa? I really want to eat El Capsa. So my friends were telling me this, they're saying it's really easy for you to make and everything. One of the new updates that we have is rich snippets. What this means is, imagine now I want to look for a kapsa. I'm pretty hungry, and let's scroll down a bit and say, yeah. Imagine these are the links that I get. So I open the kapsa, it shows me a couple of links. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks good. Then I'm not going to look at it. But now imagine I'm really, really hungry, and I open the page, and there's this amazing chicken right there. Where do I eat it? So I was really hungry yesterday. I flew for 11 hours, and the plane food is happening. So, sorry, I tried not to say it right there. So this is an awesome feature, that you have this rich picture that just makes you just go crazy for the food, right? You really want to click this. So let's say you have these links. They both have good content, obviously, but which one would you choose? Would you choose this one or the one on top? They're from the same company. You can see that it's food.com. But which one would you choose? The one with the picture or the one without? Exactly. Even, let's say, another example. Let's say this was the first link and the picture was the third. Which one would you click? Exactly. So it's not just important about the first, it's important about understanding people. So people that are looking for food are hungry, and they want to see the food. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like watching TV, they're showing an ad of Pizza Hut, and they never show you the pizza. Like, this would never happen. So this is awesome. Another awesome thing that you can do, and you can do this for most of your domains. You can do this, I'll show you another thing as well. But let's talk about this first. So you can see here, Adad al-Muragat, which is the ratings. So there are 3 people rated that one, 9 people rated here. Let's give you another example. Imagine you had 2 pictures. The first one, the rating was just 1 star, and the second one had 5 stars with 1,000 people rated it. Which one would you trust? Exactly. So again, this is a magical moment here, because it doesn't matter what the webmaster did on his domain. What mattered was what people chose, and you're going to always trust people over anything. So even if Google decided that the first link is the best link, but the third one has more rating, so I'm going to trust the third one. People decided that this is better. And this is a super important shift in philosophy of how we do things, right? We trust the users. So here, this guy is brilliant because he trusted the users over anything else. And the users are making more users grow. This is the whole point. So there's a lot of very cool things that you can do with Snippet that I'm going to show in the next presentation after the break. Another quick example I wanted to show is first, I don't have an English keyboard, so I'm going to show you a cool tool. Have you guys seen this before? I wrote it wrong. So it's google.com Tari. This is just for English keyboard, so I'm going to write Bahli, and it changes this to Arabic. So this is a quick trick that I do for my Portuguese keyboard. What I'm going to do is just a quick search on Bahli in Google Saudi. And why did it show me yeah, anyways. So this is Bahli because I'm logged in with my account, so it knows that I'm always looking for Ahli, the best part of the world. So the useful thing that the Ahli site has done is this. Do you see these ones? Do you know what this is? Does anybody know what this is and why they're useful? So these are sightings. Exactly. So
links in the same domain.
exactly, they're links inside the domain that take you directly to the page.
most visited ones?
Sorry?
The mostly visited ones from the site?
It's done kind of automatically, that you decide what are the kind of links that are important to users that they want to achieve. So let me try another search because this didn't really work as well as I expected. So the way this is done is this is completely automatic for now. So you're not saying, yeah, I want these links to be there. Google decides these ones. What you can use is with the rich snippet tool, you can decide that, let's say you check your website, this link is there, and no, I don't want this link to be shown on my main page. You can decide which links to take out. But to put in, you can make it, but we do not guarantee that we're going to index it. So let's try something else. I think it would be because they had a really nice implementation of this, so I really want to show you that. much better representation of site. So if you see here, the other one just had a couple of links. They're all ahli, gabir, ahli, everything. You're not really sure what you're clicking on, so you're just going to go to the main. This one is much better. So you're looking for bank al ahli. Let me kind of here so you guys can see. So no. So this, you can see here, you can go straight without opening the domain, finding the thing, everything. You can go straight to the Hisab al-Gari. You can go straight to Khadamat al-Bankaya. So you don't have to search on Google, say Bank al